Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome back to Global Happenings today. Tinubu over time had pretended as though the Northerners and their votes were not important to him, despite all the complaints that they have given thus far. But it seems as though his political advisors have started advising him well that he needs to reach out to them so that there can be a balance before 2027. Don't forget, fairly recently, the Northerners have been pointing at Goodluck Jonathan to be the possible replacement for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but for him, it will be a big blow if he is kicked out of office, being that he had been a well-known politician over the years. You are going to see the next move that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has taken to see how he can reconcile these people back to himself so that 2027 won't be a struggle. Let's dive into the news and see the move that he has taken. According to the news, as the 2027 presidential election approaches, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has reportedly initiated efforts to win back the support of northern politicians who have expressed dissatisfaction with his administration. A northern politician who spoke on condition of anonymity disclosed that Vice President Kashim Shettima and APC National Chairman Abdullahi Ganduje have been tasked with reaching out to aggrieved northern stakeholders. This move comes after several northern political figures voiced concern over Tinubu's administration's perceived neglect of northern interests. Key issues raised by northern politicians include alleged marginalization in federal appointment and governance. These concerns have led to significant discontent, with some northern leaders openly expressing regret for supporting Tinubu during the 2023 presidential election. The source says some politician bigwigs were interested in certain positions but were not given them, and they have resorted to working against Asiwaju's return, which is not good. But that does not bring any fear to Asiwaju's camp. To be a little more open, Vice President Kashim Shettima, the national chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, and I are all from the north. We are reaching out to the aggrieved stakeholders, and we are also accessible. We are critical stakeholders who hold ground for Asiwaju in the north. We will reach out to everyone. It is a collective effort. Recall that last week, the governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, had also lent his voice to the agitation for a northern leader in 2027, vying to jettison his presidential ambition if former President Goodluck Jonathan agreed to contest. According to him, the former president has the requisite experience to revamp the economy and would do a good job if given a second mandate to manage the country. But a former Minister of Communication and prominent APC stakeholder, Adebayo Shitu, said Nigerians should be wary of such move. According to his word, he says, if you are calling for a change in government, you still have to wait until the current one runs its term. Now, you are even calling on Jonathan to come back. He, just like others, is free to rerun and contest election in 2027. But certainly, there won't be any election before then, and there cannot be any change of government if Jonathan had done very well. Nigerians wouldn't have voted him out after spending about 6 years in office. Tell me, if the PDP had done very well, would the people have voted them out? Nigerians only voted them out after their term expired. A former lawmaker who represented Kaduna Central between 2015 and 2019, Senator Shehu Sani, warned against desperation of some northern elites to return to power. In his words, and I quote, if President Tinubu succeeds in addressing the security situation, education, and poverty in northern Nigeria, no northern elite will stop him from being re-elected in 2027. The desperation to return to power in 2027 by some northern political elites is not in the interest of the north, but is driven by personal reasons, as some of them have been schemed out, so they often turn to a sectional agenda when their own personal interests are affected. Speaking, a former Minister of State for Works and National Coordinator of Southwest Agenda for Asiwaju, Prince Adedayo Adeyeye, said Tinubu had sufficient loyalists on his side to confront any opposition coming from any angle. He says, I believe that by the time we approach 2027, Nigerians will know that the president will win his second term as president. Those were the words of Adeyeye. But guess what? All of this is tantamount to Nigerians. Are Nigerians satisfied enough? Politicians may have reasons, to vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, maybe because their personal ambitions and personal strife have been met. They have given them the required attention in terms of giving them appointment and all of that. How about the populace, the main people whom you came to represent, which is the Nigerian people, those who are watching from outside? What is their standpoint? Unfortunately, it seems as though this government has not given the required care to the people. We have seen so many schemes that have been rolled out, but the big question is how many people are beneficiaries of this scheme? We've heard of loans that are going to be given to students, loans that will be given to short-term businesses, long-term businesses, and all of that. How many people have benefited from it, and how has it impacted Nigeria? And most importantly, I think the key issue right now is insecurity in the country. I must say that by the way things are going, Buhari had fought insecurity more than this current administration, because if you look at the train of events on a daily basis, we have been seeing people being taken into captivity. At first, most Nigerians were of the opinion that with Bola Tinubu from the south, there won't be any element of insecurity in the southern part of Nigeria. But that is not true. In the southeast, we see almost on a daily basis people have been captured. Even on a road, when people are traveling from Lagos, maybe to Port Harcourt, maybe to Calabar, maybe to you and its environs, we see multiple cases of people buses being hijacked by this criminal. The big question is, what is the president doing? Before you start soliciting for support from Nigerians in 2027, what are the things you have achieved thus far, especially in the area of insecurity, food security, and also good governance? What can the people boast of? Can they come on the street and say, we are standing strong for this man, this is what he has done, this is what he has done, this is what he has done? Those are some of those big questions that most Nigerians are asking. A certain man may go around, try to convince the people to, get their support and all of that. But don't forget that our eyes don't they open. Our mumu don't do. That's what most Nigerians are saying. And they are ready not to allow anybody to hijack their mandate again and use it for his personal selfish gain. Right now, the situation in the country is not interesting, whether you like it or yes. These are facts that cannot be refuted. A lot of things have been happening in the country, and it seems as if we don't even have a direction. The issue of fuel subsidy, which has over the years been announced, or over a period of time, they had always still been claimed that it has not been removed. But we still see that reasonable amount of money seems to be cornered in that direction. Nobody is giving explanation to it. NNPC came out and told Nigerians, there is nothing like subsidy, blah, 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 blah. But why is it that huge amount of money are being apportioned to that level? And come on, even if you say the subsidy has returned, Nigerians are not troubled. But what most people are seeking for, which is almost something for national interest, is the fact that the president, if you are returning the subsidy, return back the price of fuel to 300. And guess what? Multiple of Nigerians, or many Nigerians, will support him without any stress. Nobody will have to beg to be supported, That's just the truth. If your government is people-centered, if your government revolves around empowerment, you won't have to beg people to support you. My points are clear. I hope that the president, even as he's making use of that strategy of trying to hold the Northerners back to himself as he plans for 2027, will also think of the populace, because it is not politicians alone that will vote. The people also will vote. And this time around, the people are not ready to give up their mandate. If they must give it up, it must be for someone who is worth it. That's what we'd like to leave it. Let's be in our comments.
Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze.